sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. And if you want to watch a live broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Listen, today's live stream may be a little off. I finished building the new computer yesterday just to handle the video, and I seem to be having a little bit of lag somewhere, and I can't figure it out. But if you do like the live stream, even though there might be a couple issues today, click the subscribe button. Keep up to date. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver jersey, and many other items. And good afternoon, Dan. Dan the Man Butcher. Just seems like everything's off right now. I don't know why. Give me a second. Give me a break. Give me a break. All right. Just seems like a slight lag going. I don't know why. That's going to drive me nuts. Well, that's a short drive anyway. But Virginia Democrats pressure law school not to honor Justice Scalise. Yep, the Democrats are pulling their same bullshit that they normally do. We can't even honor men that serve our country. Justice Scalise served our country. He served our country in the Supreme Court. And the school wants to honor him by naming its law school after him. And I think it's very honorable. I talked about it, I think last week it was, or maybe the week before. But now a group of Democrat legislators in Virginia are demanding George Mason University not name its law school after recently deceased Justice Scalise. The school has already raised $30 million in donations for the effort. According to the Associated Press, a group of local lawmakers sent a letter to the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, the agency that would approve the name change, insisting the body intervened to force the university to cancel its plan. This letter declared that Scalise was also one of the most controversial justices in modern history. Oh, so basically didn't agree with Democrats, so he was controversial. This is the stuff that pisses me off about the liberals. They seem like childish little kids and pissed off. And I don't even know if they're pissed off because they want to honor the man. They are disgusting that they are fighting it. It goes on that, indeed, we have received pleas from alumni who are deeply concerned that this decision will undermine their ability to find future employment or undermine their professional reputation. That is such a crock of bullshit. They don't want anybody on the right to have any type of recognition. Period. That's what it is. They want to try to hide everything on the right, and only their side can get honored. They honor a woman whose sole purpose of creating a Planned Parenthood was to wipe out the black race. That's okay to honor. But just to name a law school after a Supreme Court justice. The university announced the name change after an anonymous donor gave $20 million to the school, in addition to a $10 million donation by the famed libertarian billionaires Charles and David Koch via the Charles Koch Foundation. After the donations were disclosed, the school announced it intended to change the law school's name to Antonio Scalise Law School. The latest moniker came after several internet finally got that little rat bastard. I've had a little mosquito. I had a little mosquito running around. I finally killed the little rat bastard. All right. The latest moniker came after several internet sites ridiculed the original proposed name, the Antoni Scalise School of Law, saying it would forever be known as the Ass Law. Local lawmakers, including Delaware Marcus Semin, Falls Church, Mark Levine, Scott, I'm not even going to try that guy's last name, said they felt the name change to honor the conservative jurist was wrong no matter its configuration. It's claimed to have received a petition with 1,000 signatures demanding the plan be dropped. And the name change was an in-your-face move by conservatives. And this move by you to try to stop a school from honoring a Supreme Court justice by changing the name of their law school in honor of them. Well, what about all these schools that name themselves after Obama when Obama hasn't done jack shit for the country? How about the offensiveness that the conservatives have that he got? God, brain fart. The Nobel Peace Prize for what? For being elected? We've had 43 other men that's been elected. It's not some big feat. He's been named after schools for a long time now. For what? For fucking up our country? I don't see everybody ranting and raving and jumping all over that. What I do find is the disgustingness of honoring a gentleman that just passed away for his accomplishments, his service to the country, and the left wants to attack it. Then you wonder why you're losing more people. No, they don't wonder because they're so egotistical and so self-righteous, they don't realize that they are losing people. It would seem it's mind-boggling, the idiocy of the left. And Simmons goes on, and he's, of course, he has a problem that the Koch brothers are involved in it. But again, the left never have a problem when George Soros sticks his nose and finances protesters, and protesters that become violent in this country, that start looting and rioting and burning business down. That is fine from the left, that Soros gets his nose stuck in there. They're fine that Soros is destroying the European Union by flooding and financing the invasion of the European Union. It is okay that Michael Bloomberg spends millions upon millions of dollars every single year buying politicians to walk all over the Constitution. That's fine. It's fine that Tom Stiers pumps in $100 million every 4 years into elections to buy politicians as long as they push his policies, his global warming bullshit. That is fine. That is okay. But God forbid the Koch brothers donate money to a school to have a law school named after Supreme Court Justice Scalise. I'm butchering his name. I always do. And he goes on to say that to try and indoctrinate students and to shape their young minds and train them in the Scalise way of thinking. That's troubling to me. Well, you know what, you fucking piece of shit? You have been having indoctrination of kids to the liberal, socialist, anti-American way. And you've done it down to the elementary school. So don't you dare, Marcus Simon, go on about indoctrinating. You have been indoctrinating kids for a long time now. You are changing history to suit your sick and perverted Democrat ways. The liberals have been hiding history. They've been hiding their past of racism, of slavery. And we're not talking hundreds of years. We are talking their racism to modern day. They believe that the minorities can't do anything for themselves. They believe that we've gone over that time and time again, the racism of the Democrat Party. And he wants to worry about some conservative values being passed on. Oh, fucking well. The group of lawmakers who shouldn't be sticking their nose into a university issue of naming a building, don't they have better things to do, like fuck up a state? Told the council the school's decision to make the change without having a school-wide referendum was the wrong tactics. And hello, Cal. I'm sick of these liberals constantly sticking their nose in everything and getting bent out of shape because a school simply is changing its name to honor a Supreme Court justice that passed away. Again, we have a president who hasn't even stepped out of office, hasn't done shit for the country except fuck it up, and yet there's school after school that is named after him. These schools teach kids liberal socialist ideology. But that's okay for Democrat Marcus Simon. It is okay that they buy politicians from George Soros to Michael Bloomberg, Tom Steyers, Warren Buffett. And the list keeps going on and on. But that's okay to them. It just pisses me off, and I'm sick of it. Every time the conservatives do something, they try to do something to honor somebody, you jump all over them. Someone like that is not worth the air they breathe. It's, oh my. What are you going to do? Going to lose my voice. Keep yelling that much. It just drives me up a wall. Oh, and on top of it, I'm having some of the issues with the new computer, which, okay, I'll figure them out. It's got to run smooth on this computer because I was running it on a laptop that was less powerful than what this desktop is. More RAM. So I just got to figure out where the little kinks are. But on top of it, my mom's laptop went down, so I started working on that last night. And literally, I was working on it from about 11:30 until about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. I hate getting beat by a computer. And it's not that I'm tired. I also got in the back of my mind that laptop's beating me. Just can hear it. I can just hear it in the back of my head. Oh, that's why I don't do computers anymore. I can just hear them laughing. Oh, God, I'm going to have like the men in white coats knocking on my door. There's going to be some liberal listening to this. Oh, my God, he's crazy. He hears a computer talking to him. Yes, 911. Yes, he said he's crazy. He hears computers talking to him. We're coming to take me away. Haha. It's Friday. The weekend is here. The only thing that means is probably tonight it's going to be a Call of Duty night between the wife, my daughter, and myself. And before you liberals get your panties in an uproar, you know what? It is actually kind of fun. It's helped teaching my daughter to work as a team. Because she'll go off and start goofing off on her own. And next thing you know, she's starting to die left, right, and center. So she comes running back to where me and her mother are. And we work as a team, and we actually do pretty good. And it's also it's a family bonding. We have fun. We're joking. And it relieves stress. And after that first article, I am definitely going to need a stress reliever tonight. Having a problem with naming a school after a passed away Supreme Court justice. That just screams, I'm a piece of shit scumbag with nothing better to complain about in my life that I got to pick on a dead man. Well, oops. There we go. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plain Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense, as I am not prepared today again. It is a daunting task as I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. But Dang it. Losing my voice over that first segment. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. That's simple. If you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, Reaver jersey, or an SHR Media jersey. It's one of the reasons, if you're watching the video, I keep looking out to the window. I'm waiting for the mail to come because I got my shipment of shirts and jersey and a coffee mug coming today. So I'm kind of hoping it comes during the show so I can, if it looks good, I can give everybody a free glance. Trying to check out a few things before we get going. And there it is. Bum-ba-da-dum. Yes, I think I have lost my mind today. I don't know where I misplaced it. I think I'll find it. I'll hope I find it. I think I can. Ooh, I got email. Junk. And that will be it. It's going to be a fun weekend because I got to get that laptop up and working. And it's like I know it's one driver I'm off by, and I can't find it. It's the driver that's going to, I tried loading up the wireless driver, the LAN driver, but I'm missing the network adapter, I think it was, and Ethernet adapter, and I can't find the exact one that I need. That's ticking me off over there. Have to wait the next break. So, here's some stuff that, I know I'm jumping around. Mine's going mile a minute. Brussels. The Brussels terrorist worked in the European Parliament. One of the Brussels terrorists worked briefly as a cleaner at the European Union Parliament and had access to every office. It has now been revealed. Authorities at the European Parliament announced on Wednesday that one of the terrorists responsible for the attacks in Brussels that saw 35 killed and over 200 injured over 200 injured, worked as a cleaner at the European Parliament building. I bet you their pucker holes just went. The one thing politicians do not like, they do not want to put their life on the line. And they're sitting there going, oh, shnikes. So easy. That man had access to every office. But this is kind of the sick part, and I don't want to see anybody attacked. Why don't ISIS go after the politicians, the ones that are making the laws that they're so against, making the policies that they're so against? Attack the policymakers instead of attacking the innocent citizens. I'm not advocating for attacks, but why attack the innocent, and why not attack those that write the policies that they are against? A spokesman for the parliament said that the terrorists had been employed by the cleaning company whose contract out to keep the building tidy. The terrorist was identified, and the spokesman said that the cleaning agency had done its due diligence and that he would later become a terrorist, exhibited a clean criminal record, reports Germany's Bild. Blah, 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 some it's, oh my God, it hurts my head. And these are the people that are heading towards the United States of America. These are the people that are heading towards Canada. The spokesman added, as a student, he held a summer holiday job cleaning at the Parliament for 1 month in 2009 and 1 month in 2010, and played down the connection, saying those were the only instances he worked at the Parliament. Yeah, and that was more than enough to do what he needed to do if he wanted to. According to Austrian press, the cleaner who worked at the Parliament had access to every room in the building, including the office of MEPs. The news raises concern over the potential security risk, including for members of the European Parliament who are critical of radical Islam. While the two suicide bombers from the attacks are both dead, the third man that airport security cameras caught alongside them is still missing and as of yet unidentified. The third man is presumed on the run, just as Paris attacker Abdi Salam. Why can't they have like Smith and Jones and? All right, bad joke. Just like the Paris attacker was following the Paris attack. He was eventually found in Brussels suburbs and captured after Belgian police met with resistance from locals. Many experts believe his capture was the catalyst for the Brussels terror attack. It just... Abdi Salam was able to evade police for months, while it is suspected that residents of Brussels hid him from authorities. Last week, Belgian media reported that at least 50 ISIS sympathizers were working at the Brussels airport, where part of the attacks took place. They were working in sensitive areas like baggage handling, where the potential for them to smuggle arms or even explosives onto airplanes has led Belgian authorities to rethink their strategies in dealing with terrorism. A lack of actions, experts fear may lead to a total breakdown in security. Oh, and after this article, I totally forgot, I do have an announcement on my Wednesday night show. I have a pretty big announcement that give me about 2-3 more minutes and I'll be making the announcement about it. The work of the Belgian security services has come under scrutiny by sections of the Belgian community in the wake of the attack. The Prime Minister from the German-speaking community of Belgium said that German and Belgian police, intelligence service, judicial branches, and others were simply not doing enough to properly coordinate, cooperate in fighting terrorism and dealing with shared security threats. It was also slammed the lack of will of the Belgian government to fully understand the scale of the problem that places like Molenbeek create. He said that much more work needs to be done to ensure that integration occurs and that European values are predominant in every community in Belgium and Germany, rather than allow potential parallel societies to emerge. That's the problem with these radical jihadists. They don't want to be integrated. They're never going to integrate. And the more that you try to integrate them, the more they're going to fight it. It is... I don't like generalization, blanket labeling all Muslims. I can't do it. I've said it before. I don't believe in blanket labeling like that. I know I pick on liberals all the time, but there is some liberals that aren't pieces of garbage. There is liberals that, well, they do have a general concern for the nation, and they just have a different way of thinking. I don't agree with it, but I can respect their ideology. But this group, that's where it's hard to figure out who they should give refuge to and who should be denied. That's where this breakdown of vetting is going on. And some of these they may not have that attention when they first get there. But through lies and false assumptions, these groups, just like when it comes to gangs, they pick on the weak. They find little things that they can attack to get these people to see their way. And some of them come in under false pretense, and they don't have a record. It's kind of hard. We're caught between a rock and a hard place, because we don't want to go down as history as the time period that was anti-Muslim, because that could also start to create even more Muslims. And next thing you know, we're overrun with the country, and their whole ideology is come true of domination of the world. And that's what they've tried to do for thousands of years. It's a fine balancing act. We haven't found that thin edge to ride yet, but I think we will soon. We have to, or the outcomes are unspeakable. Now, I said I had a pretty big announcement, and I think it's pretty big. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. I've been doing a show. In fact, that's one of my main, before I started doing the daytime, I was at that time slot. And I had brought the Reaver of Common Sense show down to daytime hours that I'm doing now. And I didn't know what to do or what to call the nighttime. So for a while, we've been just going by Reaver After Dark. It was just a 5-second idea that I said on air one time, and it kind of stuck. But I've been trying to separate it, and I kind of picked up a co-host, which is my best friend, my EMS partner for many years. At one time, I saw him more than I actually saw my wife. So we've been kind of batting the idea around the last week or two. And we finally, it just last night in the conversation, it came to us. The Wednesday night show is now the Southside Mutts, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. And we're going to be digging up the dirt on anything and everything. And nothing will be off limits for discussion, including insulting each other. I think that's also a large part of the show, is just me and him insulting each other, which is what we did on the rig. But yeah, that's my big announcement. Maybe I made it too much, but yeah, it's going to be the Southside Mutts. You got to tune in. It's Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And it is that evil time again. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. Right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Trying to make sense out of the senseless. and sometimes it's a never-ending fight. Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., will be the Southside Mutts with the Jersey Boys digging up the dirt. And to give the inside knowledge on them. Our fire company, both mine and Crash's, our nickname was the Southside Mutts. We were on the south side of the township. It was the lower income, so forth and so on. But the Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on SHR Media. If you want to join the live chat, go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, don't forget to subscribe to it. And if you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up t-shirt, coffee mug, even a Reaver jersey or an SHR Media jersey. So a group is calling upon Democrats to practice what they preach, and they want to disarm guards at the convention. On April 6th, the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms issued a press release calling on Democrat Party to practice what they preach and disarm guards and security at the upcoming Democratic Convention. The convention will be held in Philadelphia July 25th to 28th, the city of brotherly love and my second home. Kind of miss it, but don't miss it. And especially after last night and my Philadelphia Flyers just, oh, God, fighting for a playoff spot, and they lost to Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime. Yeah, keyboards can be a bugger, can't it? According to the release, the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, they need to find a shorter name, a way shorter name. Not even just abbreviated, because the abbreviation is still CCRKBA. Guys, shorten it. Get a shorter name. They want Democrats to gather at the Wells Fargo Center without the protection of armed police, Secret Service, or private security personnel. In other words, to gather in some of the same kind of gun-free zone the Democrat Party keeps in place for kids, teachers, and elementary schools across the country. Their chairman, Allen, said Democrats have become known as the party of gun control. Virtually all recent gun control proposals at the federal and state levels have been launched and championed by Democrats. It's time for the party to put up or shut up about guns. The best way to do that is to forsake armed security during the convention. Allen added that if a political party believes guns do not make us safer, they should set an example by rejecting any and all forms of armed security at their national convention. No group, organization, or political party that makes erosion of constitutional deniality, fundamental civil rights part of its agenda should benefit in any way from the existence of that right. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I've said that before. These celebrities, these politicians, these rich SOBs that want to disarm us, like Michael Bloomberg, who is surrounded by armed security. You had a couple years ago Jim Carrey running his mouth, damn Canadians, as he was surrounded by armed security. These people that are bitching about guns are surrounded by guns. They all think they are a better class than everybody else, and they deserve the right to be protected, but anybody beneath them does not deserve that same protection. And don't tell me about police, because police, for the majority of the time, they are there to clean up the messes, not prevent the messes. Our laws do not allow prevention, per se. They do not, even by Supreme Court ruling, police do not have to intervene. And that's something that most people do not realize. Cops do not have any legal trying to think of the correct wording. They don't legally have to step into any situation where it puts their lives on the line. There is technically no contract with the people to protect them. I know they got that nifty little slogan. Slogans do not make binding contracts. It takes split second for a criminal commit an act of atrocity of shooting somebody. It takes minutes for the police to step in. Even on a good response, you're still talking, from the time someone picks up the phone to the time that the police officer arrives can be anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. I have called in Hillsborough County, Florida, the sheriffs because of issues at my house. And I've had it where it's taken half hour, hour and a half. I had someone looking in my daughter's bedroom window at night. Called the police immediately. Hour and a half later, they showed up. And the reasoning is, it wasn't an emergency. He wasn't on your property anymore. You weren't sure. Who cares? My response back was, yeah, but if you would have responded within a decent amount of time frame, well, you could have seen people walking on the street. You could have seen a gentleman walking down the street and known that he was still in the neighborhood. Stop, talk to him. I had someone actively trying to break in one of my windows. Called 911. Half hour later, they showed up. Why? Because when asked, I was honest, and I said, I don't know if the guy's still out there or not. So, they dubbed it a non-emergency. And yes, I did call and complain. And I talked to a lieutenant, and I love some of the responses. You're not in Jersey. You're in Florida. Because when I asked him about, do I have a right to go out and check to make sure my house is safe? And he said, yes, you do, but it can be dangerous. And I said, well, I do have a full-grown German Shepherd male. And he was like, yep, take that one with you. That'll do. I said, I'm not trying to be, pat myself in the back or anything. I said, I am armed. And I'm licensed. And I was shocked the response I got. He was like, thank you. We need more citizens to be armed to protect themselves. Well, I was like, I'm from New Jersey, and it's been ingrained in me certain laws, and I'm worried about certain things. I said, because, you can read it, and it gets interpreted a different way. People like to talk, and it just isn't true what they pass on a lot of false information. I was like, do you mind if I ask a couple questions? He's like, hey, I'd rather have you ask. I was like, well, what about imprinting or ghosting? And for those that don't know, when you're carrying concealed, if it's kind of like the shirt laying over it, and if it's a little bit tight, you can see the outline of a handgun. And he said, no, that's perfectly legal in the state of Florida. There's new laws put in place. Try not to have it obvious like you're wearing a shirt 2 sizes too small, and it's like really imprinting. I said, well, what if I walk out and I see someone at a window and, I had my gun out. I said, can I get charged for that? And he's like, why? You're on your property. They're on your property. Just don't be stupid and be like, oh, they're, see some young kid and he's not armed and just being dumb and pulling a prank and you shoot him, you're going to get in trouble. He goes, but if you got someone actively trying to break in and you pull a gun and because you're fearing for your life and your families, you have every right. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, great. And I like that conversation I had. It wasn't some of the police I've ran into and, oh, you shouldn't have a gun. You don't have a right to have a gun. It's that whole power trip of some of those police, or law enforcement, I should say, because we got sheriffs down here. They're the only ones that should be able to do it. They're trained. You're not. Well, I guess you shouldn't have a fire extinguisher. Only firefighters should have fire extinguishers because we're trained. You're not. It just, I got to stop looking out the window. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I want my T-shirt. I want my jersey. I want my coffee mug. But since the Democrats want to fight this all the time, and they want to disarm the people, and don't tell me they don't want to disarm us. I'm not going to go and when you sit there and say, we don't want to ban guns, you look like a fucking moron. That tells me you're not educated in the conversation or you're plainly not looking at it honestly of what the Democrats want to do. Maybe you specifically don't want to ban, but I'll tell you right now, the Democrats do want to ban guns. And I'm going over it. Oh, God knows how many times. Simply put, if they did not want to ban what the hell? I have to deal with this later. If they are not against, or they're not for gun bans, then why did they spend millions of dollars to pay for a study on how to ban guns? If they're so against guns, then yes, during this convention, they should not be armed. No one in that place should be armed. Honor your no gun policy because you're not letting anybody walk into that place to be carrying. It's supposed to be a gun-free zone because you have all these politicians. And it just, I don't know. I know they won't have the guts to do it because they don't even believe their own rhetoric that they're talking. They want protection. They just feel that they're above everybody else. It is getting appalling, the double standards that we have. I also find it sick when we have the people that are affected by gun violence and they speak up for pro-gun. The left tries to silence them immediately. The left only wants to hear their side. They have no respect for anybody else. They only want it their way. And I love these liberals now that, I'm scared. You got a gun. I'm scared. I bet you must piss yourself every time you see a cop. The whining is unbearable. It's getting getting a little ridiculous. But yes, they should disarm themselves. Well, it's getting that time again. We're coming up to the top of the hour. That's going to be noontime. And 2 seconds. It's noon. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plain Pundits Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And holy shit, did that break go by fast. It feels like I just started the break. Holy for holies. I didn't even realize it was done. I was typing out a message to somebody on Facebook, and but I'm still trying to make sense out of the senseless. And the Jersey Takeover is still here. And we have still expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, don't forget to subscribe to it. Keep up to date. And if you want to support the show, or if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, and many other different types of shirts. There's so many. I got floor mats. I got beer cozies. I mean, I got a lot of different stuff, and more stuff is being added every single day. Now, D-Ray McKesson, I probably butchered that last. I can't deal with last names. I always butcher them. Ouch. I got to get used to having 2 desktop computers underneath the table. I just kicked one. Ouch. But this gentleman is one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter, and he is running for mayor of Baltimore. And he is still below 1% in the race, despite the love from the media and Silicon Valley backers. For the second time in less than 30 days, Black Lives Matter activist and Baltimore mayoral candidate D-Ray McKesson is polling less than 1% in the polls for the Baltimore Democratic mayoral race. I gotta send something. Trying to do so many things. Just there you go. The polls conducted by the Baltimore Sun and the University of Baltimore asked questions of 400 likely Democrat primary voters and was conducted from April 1st to April 4th. Maryland State Senator Catherine E. Pug, whatever, has solidified her lead among the crowded 13-candidate race to become Baltimore's 60th mayor. You know what's funny? Didn't they make fun of the Republican presidential race with having 17 candidates? They made fun of it. And now they go and have granted it's a local level race, but 13 candidates? Again, the hypocrisy of the left exposes itself. McKesson, for his part, has seen piles of money pour in from executives of companies including Twitter, Netflix, according to campaign filings. McKesson has also been boosted by a barrage of positive press. In recent weeks, the 30-year-old Baltimore native has had interviews published by major news outlets, including the Huffington Post, NBC News, and Newsweek. However, despite the constant stream of favorable coverage and his massive social media reach, he continues to face near impossible political odds in his bid for Baltimore mayor. Baltimore's Democratic primary will be held on April 26th. And good afternoon, Dave. Dave, the unpleasant guy. How are you doing, sir? I'm pretty sure by now everybody has heard about the Panama Paper. It's been exposing a lot of corruption within the world leaders and tax evasion by world leaders. And Hillary is not exactly free from this little scandal. Hillary Clinton's campaign, well, surprise, surprise, a scandal surrounding Hillary. Now, never. Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, has ties to Russian Sberbank, which has been implicated in the Panama paper tax avoidance scandal. A report parsing through what is currently known to be included in the Mossack Fonseca data leak about Russian corporations found that, Jiminy Crickets. I think they're just writing, this guy's just like, okay, this will I'll do. I really screw up these people and just start. Exactly, Dave. And there's a lot of that, and they don't know how they're going to combat that. And for those that aren't in the chat room, there is a lot being said that the Sanders voters, if he is not elected, will be staying home, which is going to hurt Hillary. And I know the general election, or the polls right now, are saying one thing, and they often say something different. Okay, right now when polls are taken, I know they ask questions. Well, if this person was elected, what would you do? And you're going to say, well, I'm going to stay home. Well, it's going to be different once the general election actually gets on. When everybody's calmed down from everything happening from the primary and everybody's just relaxed, you're going to get different answers. When reality starts to set in of, okay, I have a choice between candidate A and candidate B, they're going to be more apt to go and maybe go against what they said. But the Sanders voters are so ravenous. So they are not your typical Democrat. They only care about Sanders, and that's the only reason why they're involved. Because I think the same people that backed my wife being a smartass. Always the smartass. And I think the ones that are backing Sanders are the same ones that backed Obama. And they do not have they don't give a rat's ass about Hillary. Yeah, they're socialists, all right. Exactly. And I don't see them going for Hillary because Hillary has too many Wall Street ties. And she's almost everything that they stand against. So, and you can guarantee if she is let's say for the sake of argument, she gets the election. She becomes president. There's going to be so many damn scandals surrounding her. It's not going to be funny. I mean, she'll make Obama look like an honest politician. And that's pretty hard to do. And it doesn't surprise me that she's being implicated within this Panama tax avoidance scandal. It really does not shock me. Her and her husband have thought for way too long. They think they're above everybody and anything. I'm getting sick and tired, and I know I'm not the only one, of these damn politicians that think they can get away. And we need to stand up to them. But me go through. Now, this one I don't exactly agree with the statement because nobody knows how it would turn out unless they actually had a vote. Nobody can say with certainty. I mean, they're making speculations, but I understand the sentiment behind it, and I was actually shocked, and I know there's probably people like, you didn't know, goddamn it. There's a Kevin Kramer. He's a North Dakota caucus, would have been overwhelmingly Trump. North Dakota's only congressman, Republican Representative Kevin Kramer, tells Breitbart News that if his state held a caucus or a primary this year, he thinks voters would have chosen Donald Trump. He added that the tone deafness of party leaders is an electoral problem. If we had a caucus or a primary, I think we would have overwhelmingly been Trump. Kramer told Breitbart News during a phone interview Kramer has endorsed Trump. And why I'm bringing up this article is not because it's, for Trump. No. That is not why, because North Dakota, I believe, is backing, the delegates are backing Cruz. Is that in today's day and age, they don't have any voting. Their citizens have really no say in the process. This really is the party in North Dakota picking who they want and telling the people this is who you're going to get. And that's why I'm bringing it up. I don't think that is anywhere near the American way. It surprises me that they do not have a primary vote or at least a caucus, and that their constituents were not able to participate in any way in the GOP primary process. And for all we know, they could have went Kasich, they could have went Cruz, but it should be left up to the people and not these delegates that get to pick who they want. And I'm getting tired of this RNC of, well, it's the Republican Party, and we'll pick. The Republican Party is the people. You're a representative for the people. And these politicians and the chairman, Mr. Douchebag, needs to get his head out of his ass and realize that it is the People's Party. They really think they are royalty and they have a right to stuff. They bash the left for having this attitude that everything is owed to them, when them themselves have an attitude that everything is owed to them and that they are ultimately in charge. It is them that make the decisions. It is owed to them because he is the RNC chairman. No. You represent the people. And if the people say, Cruz, I don't care. I have said time and time again, I have not yet once said, don't vote for this person. I may have gotten discussions with people about Trump, but I've never said, you got to change your vote. You shouldn't vote for him. Because it's not my place to tell anybody who to vote. And if the people say, Cruz, hey, Cruz won Wisconsin, I didn't bitch about it. I said, congratulations. The will of the people spoke in Wisconsin. But, hey, it's done with it. Let's go on to the next one. But the shit of the party saying that they are in charge and it is their decision is what pisses me off. But what doesn't piss me off is you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on High Plains Pundit Radio and SHR Media. We'll be right back.
done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Went and got the package and... got the first shipment of jerseys, t-shirts, and coffee mugs in. I'm a happy little camper right now. And Let me... Where'd it go? I'm a very happy camper, as I was showing everybody the jersey and the t-shirt and the coffee mug for all those that are watching the live stream. Now I got little poppy things to play with. That's going to be bad. All right. Get that out of my hands. I'm going to have to adjust one thing on the coffee mug just a little. But I am very happy. Better than I thought it was going to come out. Way better. So he's going on about, if we had a caucus or a primary, he thinks that it would have been overwhelming Trump because North Dakota doesn't hold a caucus or a primary, and constituents weren't able to participate in the GOP primary process. Kramer created an online straw poll last month. I worked with the RNC and our state party to find a way to allow me to at least get a sense of where rank-and-file Republicans are, because this tone deafness of the party leadership, whether you're a Trump person, Cruz person, or something else, is really an electoral problem. I think it is a disease, frankly, Kramer charged. So I did an online straw poll that ran from February to early March through Super Tuesday, and in that poll, about 5,000 North Dakotians participated. Of those 5,000, 38% chose Trump and 26% chose Cruz. He added, most people were grateful that I gave them a voice. They were very frustrated, especially in a year like this. It's sort of like getting tickets to the Super Bowl and no one lets you go. They were very frustrated. He has explained that about his constituents, adding they were suspicious because everything that's happened during this election cycle. North Dakota's 28 delegates will go to the Republican National Convention on bound since there was no state caucus or primary. Republican National Committee for North Dakota, Hagelin, explained that in the past, North Dakota delegates were also on bound at the RNC. We've never really held a real caucus. In recent cycles, we have had straw polls that we called caucuses. Kramer's interview came after Politico reported that Senator Ted Cruz stacked the deck with delegates favorable to him in the North Dakota State Convention, which was held last weekend. North Dakota's Republican Party, their leadership, chose not to hold a presidential caucus this year and rather send our 28 delegates to the caucus on bound, which I find objectionable. He said he thought not holding a caucus or primary meant that we robbed the rank-and-file Republicans in North Dakota the opportunity to weigh in and provide that informative advice to delegates at the National Convention, especially at a time when what we should be doing as a political party is to pay attention to what people outside of our power structure are saying. North Dakota is not a big state. It is, however, a large congressional district. 188,320 North Dakotians voted for Mitt Romney in 2012. We had our own problems at our convention that year because at the caucus that year, first place quite substantially went to Rick Santorum. Ron Paul finished second and Mitt Romney third. And anybody that was a Romney or a Santorum supporter was sort of locked out of that process of going to the convention. Well, this year they doubled down by not having a caucus at all, and he just finds that objectionable, and I can understand his objections. I do not agree with his assertion that Trump would have won, even though that poll was showing Trump in the lead. Until the actual votes are casted, I'm not going to make those assumptions. Kramer says he decided not to be a delegate. I said I would endorse Donald Trump and help others persuade him as well. Persuade. How the something, one of those two damn words. I'm having a brain fart and a half. He also explained, saying it would allow him to be an outsider in the process. I'm not frustrated with their operation on the ground in North Dakota, Kramer said of the Trump's campaign delegate strategy. I don't think there's any question that within that convention hall, among the 1,600 delegates, that Cruz was a favorite. Saying it wouldn't have made any sense for Trump volunteers and staff to identify supporters. That would have been giving the majority intelligence. He was the perfect sacrifice, Kramer said of Ben Carson, who also endorsed Trump and joined Kramer in North Dakota to meet with delegates. I talked to delegates who are going to the national convention who have gone from being a hardline Cruz supporter to leaning Cruz supporter. I've talked to people who are leaning Cruz supporter to being open-minded and open-ended. The Carsons and I spent hours with small groups of delegates and people of influence explaining why Donald Trump can be a unifier and there should be voice given to this. I think that's the advantage going forward that we have. I don't think there was any way Trump was going to come out of our convention. Based on the makeup of the delegates, with the vast majority of delegates based on their support of him. But after the fact, I think there is a lot of opportunity. And it seems the GOP has no problem taking the voice out of the people. When you have douchebag chairmans like Priebus, who has the audacity to tell certain groups of people to sit down and shut up. That is no different. And it's really, these parties have gotten it. They think that they are above us. And that's what I'm getting tired of. And I know I've been hitting on that a lot today. This isn't a Trump piece or a Cruz piece or anything. This is the people. We have been overlooked and taken for granted by these elitists. These people who think they are above us. And that is one of the main problems that is coming out of this primary season. They do not give a shit what we think. They want us to blindly follow, and they thought we were going to blindly follow. They seem to have gotten a very big wake-up call. You're right, Dave. We haven't been invited to the parties, so who needs them? Sometimes you just need to crash the parties. That was always fun. I don't believe that these parties are, whether it's Republican or Democrat, there's really not much difference between, and I'm talking between the people that run them. They don't give a rat's ass about us. All they care about is lining their pockets. That's all. all they care about. And the next piece is it talks about Germany, but I've talked about similar incidents going on in Scotland and pretty much all over the European Union. You're seeing a slow progression in the United States to this exact same things. And these countries that are pushing it and allowing it and leaning towards this way of government, these are the same parties or same countries that made up the Allies. And these are the same countries that sent men to die, sent men to fight an evil. And now the evil is within those same countries. Police raided apartments over right-wing social media posts. Police in Berlin have raided 10 apartments because residents may have posted anti-migrant views online. Berlin police completed a large-scale raid on internet users Wednesday. The officers ransacked 10 separate apartments in the German capital. The force confiscated mobile phones, narcotics, and weapons. 9 suspects were arrested, aged 22 to 58, and are accused of posting messages critical of migrants, migrant helpers, and some anti-Semitic slogans on social networks like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. Even the anti-Semitic slogans, they piss me off. I find that type of stuff disgusting. But people have a right to say, and it depends on how far they go with it. But because you're critical of migrants and you're posting some negative views, as I put it, this is the beginning. This is what we fought against. One of many things that Germany was doing. The exact countries that made up the Allies. And it's not just Germany. I mean, it's several countries over in the EU. I'm not exactly sure in Canada how far they've gotten with it. In the United States, we are going that way. We got what? Safe spaces. Colleges are setting up free speech zones so you know to avoid that area so you don't get your feelings hurt. Posting stuff on social media. A woman got fired recently. She got hired at one of those plus-size women clothing store, and she put clothing fat women, one fat woman at a time, on her Facebook. Now, as she put it, she has several friends that are fat, and she didn't see what the issue was. She was fired for it. She didn't mention the name of the company. It wasn't on company time. We now have companies telling people companies telling people what they can and can't say and do on their personal time. We're now telling people how to think, what to say. And what are we hearing? The Constitution only covers the government. Well, I kind of disagree. It's the founding documents based on the rules in this country. It's not looking good in this country. Our Constitution is heading the way of the dodo bird. Hate to put it like that, but you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, of course, trying to make sense out of the senseless. Now I can't find the keys on my keyboard. It's a hard, long road to making sense out of this stuff. But the Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded it 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to try to make the sense out of the senseless. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. And if you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, don't forget to click subscribe. Keep up to date. And don't forget to support the show and support SHR Media. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, a Reaver jersey. I will be posting on Facebook the actual pictures of what some of these items look like. I got them in today. And the other big news that I announced today is the name I renamed Wednesday night show the Southside Mutt Show with the Jersey Boys. Of course, that is Jersey Joe and Crash. They are digging up the dirt and flinging it at you. It is the weekend coming up. It's so close, so close, so close. It's talking about Germany, and they've raided multiple houses, and the Berlin police have told media that they already knew of the suspects and said that many of them have what they considered a right extreme background. It was said that while many of the men shared anti-migrant views, the men do not know each other according to previous findings. And there was no evidence of any planned conspiracy to commit crimes amongst them. And some of the homes searched, police were forced to admit they had not found anything at all. But the raids were justified, saying they were maybe people who just once expressed their hate opinion. Hate opinion, in other words, for I don't agree with you, so we're going to label it hate. One of the raids in particular was prompted by a Facebook comment to an article regarding an Afghan migrant who was shot dead at the Bulgarian border. The incident took place in October, and according to Bulgarian officials, it was an accident as a bullet was meant to be a warning shot, but ricocheted and hit him. Damn, now that's got to be... That's what's funny. They're claiming the right, Dave, is bringing back the Nazism, but it's the left that is going right back down that road leading to Nazis. It's the left that's driving that car, but they accuse the right of doing it. I hate that. If you don't agree, it's hate speech. Yeah, I agree. It always was the left. But I just find it funny that they point to the right. Look what they're doing. But that Bulgarian with a ricochet shot. And people wonder why you don't fire warning shots. Because you don't know where that bullet's going to go. And you can kill an innocent person. You never fire warning shots. The Post responded to an article saying that it was unfortunate too few migrants met with a similar fate, as it might scare the rest of them from coming. Police announced that the rage showed Germans that they are not as safe online as they might think. They say that anyone who says something xenophobic, spread hate towards migrant, or shares what they consider to be a xenophobic music may be next on the list of apartments to be raided in the future. Hey, Germany, please, go fuck yourself. How about that? How about I think you guys are a bunch of Nazis? How about you're showing your history? You're showing your true colors again. Merkel is leading the charge, and she is the new Hitler. And I hate making those comparisons, but this one is actually lining up. She is running her country down that path again. She is leading her country down that path again. She is creating the hate. She is the direct cause of that hate. And it's xenophobia and hate. Just because you don't agree with somebody, oh, that's hate speech. You don't like these people. Well, you don't like me. Does that make you a racist? You're a conservative racist because you don't agree with me. It's okay to bash. It's okay to bash and hate conservatives, but can't go the other way. We have to blindly follow, blindly lead. Well, let me think. Let me think. What's my response? Yeah. Germany, fuck you. "58 police were involved in the raids and some illegal items were found in a few of the apartments. Police found one revolver handgun, though it was not mentioned if it had any ammunition or whether or not it was deactivated. They also found an airsoft gun, which requires a license to own in Germany. Yes, because I'm going to go on a massive shooting spree with an airsoft gun. I am going to peg you with paint and put a blister on you. Oh, my God. And a stun gun that appeared to be camouflaged as a flashlight. Oh, God, the stupidity is strong. This stupidity flows strong through that one. You'll poke your eye out. You shoot your eye out, kid. You got citizens being mass raped, mass sexually assaulted, groped. And you're more worried that someone is speaking negative about the people that are raping the Germans. What I find funny is governments throughout history have treated their citizens exactly like this before, and then they're shocked. Oh, my God, the citizens stood up to us. They've taken over. They're going to cut off our heads. Oh, why me? What did I do? They're always shocked and surprised that the people stand up against them. It makes me want to bang my head against the wall. I would have to kill all the brain cells I have to get to their intelligent level. An amoeba has more intelligence and more brain cells than these pieces of shit. And it's not the fact that we have different opinions. It's the fact that they got to label, attack anybody that speaks out against them. I'm sick of it. I have had it. And Germany, hopefully she is on borrowed time. I mean, guys, if you're not in the chat room, you need to get in there, especially when we have great commentators like Dave, the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and Kel Fritz in there. Two great commentators. They both have their own shows. I'm honored to have them here. But if you really want to have a good discussion, hop on into the chat room. Join the conversation. That's all I can say is just join the conversation. And they're talking about, I hope to God that Merkel's on borrowed time and that she's almost on the way out. It just amazes me, though. It seems like a coordinated effort. Not saying it is a coordinated effort, but it just very well could be a coordinated effort between these government leaders, and it just seems how we have taken that turn for the worst over the last 7 to 8 years. And I don't know. It's not. Sometimes I wonder how we spun too far to one side. It worries me. It really does. It scares the living crap out of me. And what I worry about is what kind of world is there for my daughter to grow up in. And that's what scares me. I want to thank everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody tuning in and giving me the ability to get my opinions out. It's okay to differ in opinions. It's okay to oppose opinions, but at least respect each other's opinions. As Dave the Unpleasant Blind Guy, me and him go back and forth, especially about the elections that are going on between Cruz and Trump. But we both respect each other. We both respect each other and respect each other and the ability for each other to make our own choices. I was actually shocked. I was talking to one of the higher-ups in the radio stations, and I had asked, how bad my ratings were doing. I thought I was going down. And I was honestly surprised that my numbers are going up and people are tuning in to listen to me, and I really appreciate it, and I just can't thank you enough. Have a safe weekend. I'll be back Monday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe. Have a good weekend and safe weekend. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.